I'm in here. We back. Welcome back, man. This is Rise in Scripts. Rise in Scripts. We're just going to read, baby. We're just going to read some more scriptures. We're going to read some scripts, man. Yeah, shit. We are going to read, man. Can't have your head covered when you're reading the scriptures. So here we go. We're going to read the Wisdom of Solomon in the Apocrypha. In the Apocrypha. Before we read that, because many of you may not know where the Apocrypha falls or what's in the Apocrypha, but we'll read the books of the Bible: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1 Samuel, 2 Samuel, 1 Kings, 2 Kings, 1 Chronicles, 2 Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, Esther, Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, Song of Solomon, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, Daniel, Hosea, Joel, there we go, Amos, Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum, Habakkuk, Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, Malachi, 1 Esdras, 2 Esdras, Tobit, Judith, the rest of Esther, the Wisdom of Solomon, and that's where we at, the Wisdom of Solomon. Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, Baruch, Song of the Three Holy Children, the History of Susanna, Beryl and the Dragon, the Prayer of Manasseh, 1 Maccabees, 2 Maccabees, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Acts, Romans, 1 Corinthians, 2 Corinthians, Galatians, Ephesians, Philippians, Colossians, 1 Thessalonians, 2 Thessalonians, 1 Timothy, 2 Timothy, Titus, Philemon, Hebrews, James, 1 Peter, 2 Peter, 1 John, 2 John, 3 John, Jude, and Revelations. And those are the books of the Bible containing the Apocrypha. Now, let's read. Let's keep going in the Wisdom of Solomon. Yesterday when we were reading, we were talking about wisdom. A lot about wisdom and what wisdom brings and how she was made in the beginning and how she was there from the beginning. So let's finish up with the Wisdom of Solomon. I'll leave my hand down. We're going to start with chapter 6. Chapter 6, we're going to read from 6 to 10. Chapter 6 to 10. I'm not really going to give commentary. I'm just reading. Just going to read it. The Wisdom of Solomon. Baya. The Apocrypha. Chapter 6. Hear therefore, O ye kings, and understand. Learn ye that be judges of the ends of the earth. Give ear, ye that rule the people, and glory in the multitude of nations. For power is given you of the Lord, and sovereignty from the highest, who will try your works, and search out your counsels. Because being ministers of his kingdom, you have not judged aright, nor kept the law, nor walked after the counsel of God. Horribly and speedily shall he come upon you, for a sharp judgment shall be to them that be in high places. For mercy will soon pardon the meanest, but mighty men shall be mightily tormented. For he which is Lord over all shall fear no man's person, and neither shall he stand in awe of any man's greatness. For he hath made the small and great, and careth for all alike. But a sore trial shall come upon the mighty. And unto you, therefore, O kings, do I speak, that ye may learn wisdom, and not fall away. For they that keep holiness holily, shall be judged holy. And they that have learned such things shall find what to answer. Wherefore, set your affection upon my words, desire them, and ye shall be instructed. Wisdom is glorious, and never fadeth away. yet she is easily seen of them that love her, and found of such as seek her. She prevented them that desire her, in making herself first known unto them. Whosoever seeketh her early shall have no great travail, for he shall find her sitting at his doors. To think therefore upon her is perfection of wisdom, and whoso watcheth for her shall quickly be without care. For her she goeth about seeking such as are worthy of her. She with herself sheweth herself favorable unto them in the ways, and meeteth them in every thought. For the very time beginning of her is the desire of discipline, and the care of discipline is love. And love is the keeping of her laws, and the giving heed unto her laws is the assurance of incorruption. And incorruption maketh us near unto God. Therefore the desire of wisdom bringeth to a kingdom. And if you delight, be then in thrones and specters, in thrones and scepters. O ye kings of the people, honor wisdom, that ye may reign forevermore. As for wisdom, what she is and how she came up, I will tell you, and will not hide mysteries from you, but will seek her out from the beginning of her nativity, and bring the knowledge of her into light, and will not pass over the truth. And neither will I go with consuming everything. For such a man shall have no fellowship with wisdom. But the multitude of the wise is the welfare of the world, and a wise king is the upholding of the people. Receive therefore instruction through my words, and it shall do you good. Chapter 7. I myself also am a mortal man, like to all, and the offspring of him that was first made of the earth. And in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man, and the pleasure that came with sleep. And when I was born, I drew in the common air, and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature. And the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. I was nursed in swaddling clothes, and that with cares. For there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. For all men have one entrance into life, and the like going out. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. I called upon God, and the spirit of wisdom came upon me. I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches nothing in comparison of her. Neither compared I unto her any precious stones, because all gold in respect of her is as little sand, and silver shall be counted as clay before her. I loved her above health and beauty, and chose to have her instead of light. For the light that cometh from her never goeth out. All good things together came to me with her, and innumerable riches in her hands. And I rejoiced in them all, because wisdom goeth before them, and I knew not that she was the mother of them. I learned diligently, and do communicate her liberally. I do not hide her riches, for she is a treasure unto men that never faileth, which they that use become as the friends of God, being commanded from the gifts that come from learning. God had granted me to speak as I would, and to conceive as meet for the things that are given me, because it is he that leadeth unto wisdom, and directeth the wise. Man. For in his hand are both we and our words, all wisdom also, and knowledge of workmanship. For he hath given me certain knowledge of the things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, and the operation of the elements, and the beginning, the ending, in midst of times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, and the changing of seasons, the circuits of years, and the positions of stars, the natures of living creatures, and the furies of the wild beasts, the violence of winds, and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants, and the virtues of roots, and all such things as are either secret or manifest, them I know. For wisdom, which is the worker of all things, taught me. For in her is the understanding spirit, holy, one only, manifold, subtle, lively, clear, undefiled, plain, not subject to hurt, loving the thing that is good, quick, which cannot be letted, ready to do good, kind to man, steadfast, sure, free from care, having all power, overseeing all things, and going through all understandings, pure and most subtle spirits. For wisdom is more moving than any motion, and she passeth and goeth through all things by reason of her pureness. For she is the breath of the power of God, and a pure influence flowing from the glory of the Almighty. Therefore can no defiled thing fall into her. For she is the brightness of the everlasting light, the unspotted mirror of the power of God, and the image of his goodness. And being but one, she can do all things, and remaining in herself, she maketh all things new, and in all ages entering into holy souls, she maketh them friends of God and prophets. For God loveth none but him that dwelleth with wisdom. For she is more beautiful than the sun, and above all the order of stars. Being compared with the light, she is found before it. For after this cometh night, but vice shall not prevail against wisdom. Chapter 8. Wisdom reacheth from one end to another mightily, and sweetly doth she order all things. I loved her, and sought her out from my youth. I desired to make her my spouse, and I was a lover of her beauty. In that she is conversant with God. She magnifieth her nobility, and yea, the Lord of all things himself loved her. For she is privy to the mysteries of the knowledge of God, and a lover of his works. If riches be a possession to be desired in this life, what is richer than wisdom, that worketh all things? And if prudence work, who of all that or is a more cunning workman than she? And if a man love righteousness, her labors are virtues. For she teacheth temperance and prudence, justice and fortitude, which are such things as men can have nothing more profitable in their life. If a man desire much experience, she knoweth things of old, and conjureth aright what is to come. She knoweth the subtleties of speech, and can expound dark sentences. She foreseeth signs and wonders, and events of seasons and times. Therefore, I purpose to take her to me, to live with me, knowing that she would be a counselor of good things, and a comfort in cares and grief. For her sake I shall have estimation among the multitude, and honor with the elders, though I be young. I shall be found of a quick conceit in judgment, and shall be admired in the sight of great men. When I hold my tongue, they shall bide my leisure. And when I speak, they shall give good ear unto me. If I talk much, they shall lay their hands upon their mouth. Moreover, by the means of her I shall obtain immortality, and leave behind me an everlasting memorial to them that come after me. I shall set the people in order, and the nations shall be subject unto me. Horrible tyrants shall be afraid when they do but hear of me, and I shall be found good among the multitude, a valiant in war. After I am come into my house, I will repose myself with her. For her conversation hath no bitterness, and to live with her hath no sorrow, but mirth and joy. Now when I considered these things in myself, and pondered them in my heart, how that to be allied unto wisdom is immortality, and great pleasure is it to have her friendship, and in the works of her hands are infinite riches, and in the exercise of conference with her, prudence, and in talking with her, a good report. I went about seeking how to take her to me, for I was a witty child and have a good spirit. And yea, rather begin good, I came into a body undefiled. Nevertheless, when I perceived that I could not otherwise obtain her, except God gave her me, and that was a point of wisdom also to know whose gift she was, I prayed unto the Lord and besought him, and with my whole heart I said, yes. Chapter 9. O God of my fathers and Lord of mercy, who has made all things with thy word, or ordained man through thy wisdom, that he should have dominion over the creatures which thou hast made, and ordered the world according to equity and righteousness, and execute judgment with an upright heart. Give me wisdom that sitteth by my throne, and rejected me not from among thy children. For I, thy servant and son of thine handmaid, am a feeble person, and of a short time, and too young for the understanding of judgment and laws. For though a man be never so perfect among the children of men, yet if thy wisdom be not with him, he shall be nothing regarded. Hold on. Whew. My man, my mouth got watering. I don't know why. Verse 7, chapter 9, verse 7. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 9, verse 7. I don't know what happened. Why my mouth just got watering. Thou hast chosen me to be a king of thy people, and a judge of thy sons and daughters. Damn. Thou hast commanded me to build a temple upon thy holy mount, and an altar in the city wherein thou dwellest, a resemblance of the holy tabernacle, which thou hast prepared from the beginning. Excuse me. And wisdom was with thee, which knoweth thy works, and was present when thou madest the world, and knew what was acceptable in thy sight, and right in thy commandments. O send her out of thy holy heavens, and from the throne of thy glory, that being present she may labor with me, that I may know what is pleasing unto thee. For she knoweth and understandeth all things, and she shall lead me soberly in my doings. and preserve me in her power. So shall my works be acceptable, and then shall I judge them, thy people, righteously, and be worthy to sit in my Father's seat. For what man is he that can know the counsel of God, or who can think what the will of the Lord is? For the thoughts of mortal men are miserable, and our devices are but uncertain. For the corruptible body presseth down the soul, and the earthy tabernacle weigheth down the mind that museth upon many things. And hardly do we guess aright at things that are upon earth, and with labor do we find the things that are before us. But the things that are in heaven, who hath searched out? And thy counsel, who hath known, except thou give wisdom, and send thy Holy Spirit from above? For so the ways of them which lived on the earth were reformed, and men were taught the things that are pleasing unto thee, and were saved through wisdom. Chapter 10. She preserved the first formed father of the world, that was created alone, and brought him out of his fall, and gave him power to rule all things. But when the unrighteous went away from her in his anger, he perished also in the fury wherewith he murdered his brother. For whose cause the earth being drowned with the blood, wisdom again preserved it, and directed the course of the righteous in a piece of wood of small value. Moreover, the nations in their wicked conspiracy being confounded, she found out the righteous, and preserved him blameless unto God, and kept him strong against his tender compassion toward his son. When the ungodly perished, she delivered the righteous man, who fled from the fire, which fell down upon the 5 cities, as Sodom and Gomorrah, of whose wickedness even to this day the wasteland that smoketh is a testimony, and the plants bearing fruit that never come to ripeness, and the standing pillar of salt is the monument of an unbelieving soul. For regarding not wisdom, they gat not only his hurt, that they knew not the things which were good, but also left behind them to the world a memorial of their foolishness, so that in the things wherein they offended thee could not so much be as be hid. But wisdom delivered them from pain, those that attended unto her. And when the righteous fled from his brother's wrath, she guided him in right paths, shewed him the kingdom of God, and gave him knowledge of holy things, made him rich in his travails, and multiplied the fruits of his labor. In the covetousness of such as oppressed him, she stood by him and made him rich. She defended him from his enemies and kept him safe from those that lay in wait. And in a sore conflict she gave him the victory, that he might know the godliness is stronger than all. When the righteous was sold, she forsook him not, but delivered him from sin. She went down with him to the pit, and left him not in bonds, till she brought him the scepter of the kingdom and power against those that oppressed him. As for them that had accursed him or accused him, she shewed them to be liars, and gave him perpetual glory. She delivered the righteous people and blameless seed from the nation that oppressed them. She entered into the soul of the servant of the Lord, and withstood dreadful kings and wonders and signs. Rendered to the righteous a reward of their labors, guided them in a marvelous way, and was unto them for a cover by day, and a light of stars in the night season. Brought them through the Red Sea, and led them through much water. But she drowned their enemies, and cast them up out of the bottom of the deep. Therefore The righteous spoiled the ungodly, and praise thy holy name, O Lord. And magnified with one accord thine hand that fought for them. For wisdom openeth the mouth of the dumb, and made the tongues of them that cannot speak eloquent. That was the wisdom of Solomon out of the Apocrypha, chapter 6 through chapter 10. Man, that's Rise in Scripts. That is Rise in Script. Something new. We're trying something new. I know I read on the Sabbath. I know I don't read on the Sabbath. We got to read more than that. We have to read more than just on the Sabbath, man. So we're going to keep pushing. We're going to keep pushing every day, just a couple of chapters a day. As soon as I wake up, or early, we'll try to go through a couple of scripts, a couple of chapters of something other than what we're reading on the Sabbath. And we'll pick up on the Sabbath where we left off. But hey, I hope y'all have a wonderful day. Get in your Bibles, read something, learn something, meditate on something. Think about the things that you read. Don't just listen to what your pastors say. Make sure you pick up a Bible and read for yourself. Read for yourself. And shalom. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. That was Rise in Scripts. Till next time, everybody. I'm on chill. Shalom. Oh, shit.